caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the.
I'm shocked to say that. It really is something, but this could go 12 long, heated, thrilling rounds if they're anything like the first quarter of this fight. The clinches aren't necessary. Diaz, the champion's been dropped dramatically at the end of the first round, a round he was winning as he was driving Morales back. But Morales showing all the kind of composure that comes with being in epic wars.
No, I'm not actually shocked that Morales is winning 3-0. You know, he has the experience. He's very relaxed. He got hurt. He got stung in the first round, but you know what? He came back. In punches in the third round, you look at Diaz landing only 9 out of 56 shots, and Morales 14 out of 53. So obviously, he's been pretty busy himself. Now, can he keep up that pace? That's something we need to know.
I think that's the big question in this fight is how far can Morales push his body in this one?
And also, Gennaro struck on something. Morales, it's Diaz walking into a shot. Morales seems relaxed, you said it. Diaz, again, fighting at home and fighting a legend. I say again, did he look tight at all? Or tighter than Morales? Not as relaxed.
I just think that he's been a little precautious. I don't think that he's very tight. He's trying to do his best, but he sees himself getting caught with some punches by Morales. Yeah. So obviously that's holding him back, I think.
I don't think he started tight, but I think he's been a different fighter since the knockdown.
He's doing a lot of good things. I think you would agree.
You know, I think older fight fans will know what I'm talking about, and I include you in this, Nick, I must say. But David Diaz reminds me stylistically a little bit of Oscar Bonavena.
Oh, good point, yes. He goes for it with every punch, doesn't he?
Yep. And, you know, he's kind of a brawler, but not quite as powerful as he appears to be.
Yes.
Right there, he went back and took some shots. But obviously, there were questions blocked by David Diaz's defense, and he smiled at Eric, like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Talk about what Morales is doing so well here.
Morales is cool, actually showing David Diaz that, you know what, I may be supposedly considered. Oh,
right hand. Wow. Right hand from Morales. Diaz has to restart. That stunned him.
And he's actually working real good with the jab, straight right to the body, and a good right uppercut. So Morales is actually doing a very good job here in this fight.
You know what? He stayed absolutely calm, which you would expect of a man of his experience. Plus, his punches, I think, have been just faster and straighter than Diaz.
Right, and you know what? He is a thrill to watch. We said it at the top of the hour, or top of the show, and he hasn't let us down yet, Eric Morales in white.
And something right now that I saw of David Diaz, you cannot continue going straight back, forward, without throwing anything. You know, either you do a sidestep and counter him, or at least take your jab out to maintain Morales at a distance.
That's what Jim Strickland wants him to do, jab on the way out. We haven't seen it all night. Good point as we go to the corners here. Wow, this fight is just flashing.
Ya estuvo, ahora sí que bien, qué buen round tiraste.
Got throw the right.
Un poquito más de presión, pero que bien combinaste. Estuvo muy bueno.
Okay, he's just waiting for you. You gotta go.
Pero todo bien. La decisión no le van a dar, hijo, por favor.
You have to keep on throwing the left. He's just waiting.
Just coming straight in at him, right? You know, letting him move that down. Fight him. He fight you. Fight him sometime and go. And you gotta let your left hand.
All right, here's David Diaz trying very hard to get something over on Eric Morales. And, you know, for all his effort, he's missing a lot. And now you see the efficiency of Morales, the straight, crisp punches. There it is. I mean, that's as good as you can execute that punch.
Boy.
And David Diaz continue walking in.
Now, one thing we should point out about Diaz, he was taking a beating from Santa Cruz for 9 rounds.
Absolutely.
And won the fight.
Way behind.
So don't overreact to what's happened so far.
Well, but one thing, Diaz, another thing he's not doing is what his corner, Kevin Cunningham and Jim Strickland, want. They want him jabbing. He's landed 7 jabs through 4 rounds.
Yeah, you know, and we are in the 5th round. And you know what? One thing is that, you know, David Diaz is not fighting Santa Cruz. Morales can take a shot.
Excellent point.
And, you know, and he's been aware of the power that Diaz has brought to this fight.
And back it up again, he's taken some hellacious shots. Let's face it, he's lost 4 of his last 5, and he really went down in a firefight against Manny Pacquiao that 3rd time. Lasted only 3 rounds. So what have you done for me lately? He's gone down in flames, but tonight he is coming up
huge.
Well, you know
against
what?
David
The
Diaz.
one thing, though, and this is another surprising thing besides the fact that he's the younger man, he's actually fought more recently than Diaz. Diaz hasn't fought since the Santa Cruz fight last August.
Good point.
Right here, you know, he's smothering his own self. He needs to give himself a little distance. Good left uppercut right there by Diaz, who's actually worked it inside pretty good. Right there, he tried to maintain. He threw that right hook knowing that he wasn't going to catch him, but he just tried to maintain him right there in front of him. So that way Morales wouldn't be able to move.
Right, Diaz content to stand in front now. And now try to muscle Morales and get him in retreat. But Morales dangerous, creating space and even backing up and landing. And look at him move around now. He hasn't abandoned the jab there. Sinks it right to the body of Diaz.
And I'm going to tell you one thing right now, you guys. I noticed that Diaz leaves that right side of his open. I'm waiting to see if Morales is actually going to throw a lift to the body. Goes straight right to the body right there, but I don't see that lift.
Second time, good combination lands from Diaz. That right hand found a home to the chin of Morales, but Morales with a lot of
Like right there,
shooting.
Right there, that lift should have been right there. Good.
Wow, driving Diaz back.
But I'll tell you, man, there's one word that describes Diaz: tenacious. He's not particularly skilled, but man, he's tenacious Diaz.
That's for the Bonavena you were talking about, right? The analogy.
But you know that all that tenacious is not going to be paying off because his right eye is starting to swell up pretty bad.
Well, the only thing is you have to watch for the stamina of Morales if this fight stays at this pace.
He's doing very little wrong and tons of things right. Absolutely, to me, looking like that, obviously the more polished fighter in bigger fights, which he's been in. And that seems to be the difference. He's bringing everything to this fight so far.
A good straight left by Diaz right there, moving around.
But another round, it looks to Morales. Five blazingly hot rounds here in Chicago. We're through that. And Morales has been a lot longer than this in big fights before.
177 world championship round.
You can't back out, okay? You're not back out. I'm good.
15 rounds.
You got to move in to get in close.
Wow, that's a little bit of a disparity.
That's staggering. It just punctuates the point.
The first half
This
of that
guy,
round, and then
Morales,
you
has
stand back
been
and gave him the distance that he needed.
in all
When you in
time,
his chest, you
whatever
pushing
it
him.
takes.
And let's look at the replay, and I'll tell you what I think this is like. So you see, Diaz doing some pretty good work in there. Doing some pretty good work, but he's more of a clubbing puncher than a sharp puncher. Morales is a sharp puncher. But this is kind of like when Davey Moore, right after winning his world title in 1983, fought Roberto Duran. We all thought Duran was washed up.
That's a
But you know,
comparison again, Wally.
when the fight actually took place. Anyway, we got a little.
David Diaz didn't like the fact that the referee told him to break and Morales hit him.
Yeah, Diaz is mad about it now.
But he needs to be patient because you know what, losing his composure is not going to help him. He's going to leave himself open.
Morales picked him off there coming in.
To go back to the Duran Moore thing, Moore showed himself in comparison to Duran to be a rank amateur that night, even though he was, you know, he appeared to be the man on the way up.
Remember that well. What about the spacing, how Morales is able to see, back up, and still measure and then unload that way? What should Diaz be doing? Closing distance and not allowing that?
But what he needs to do is kind of throw feints a little bit and make Morales either cover up or throw a shot. And then when he sees that opportunity to get in, then step in there and do what he has to do, like right now.
So Raleigh touched on it earlier. It's a matter of who can control the distance of this fight, where this fight should be fought at. So far, it's been Morales more than Diaz, but they both had their moments here.
And I'm going to tell you guys one thing right now. David Diaz is throwing everything, including forearms and elbows, as you can see.
Yeah, and he's where he wants to be.
That's an illegal hit right there. That's an illegal hit right there. Referee warning both fighters, don't hit behind the head.
Oh, this is a mean fight. Some serious shots from both guys.
And you know, and I like that. I like to see David Diaz make it
Get
a
physical,
brawl.
huh?
Yeah, you got to do it.
He has
with
to.
with a experienced fighter like Morales, who may eventually fade away. But obviously, he looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's in the 6th round right now.
Look at
He's
the
doing
eye.
a very good job
Look
right now.
at the swelling under Diaz's eye.
And
Diaz has got to take this into the street. That's it.
he has to do it, and he has to maintain that right hand up because he's actually letting Morales land that shot on there, and that's what's causing the swelling.
I mean, I want to ask you guys if you're surprised that Morales appears to be enjoying this fight. He's not running from the slugfest.
No, he's getting hurt there. He got hurt there, but
He got hurt. That's why he dropped that left hand. He got hurt. Or he didn't get hurt, but he felt that punch.
Oh, yeah.
But Wally, I'm just thinking all of that experience, and if he, you know, and if it's not a spent bullet, yes, we talked about that. We're going to address that in a corner. Wow, between rounds, it's a big issue. But all the experience showing in Eric Morales here tonight, halfway through this war of attrition.
Well, you know, Morales doesn't want to go with a defeat out now because he says that if he loses, he will retire.
As we go first to the corner, there's the eye. Let's see how they address it. Wow, that's the first thing I'd be all over, huh?
Yeah, they would be on that right now with some ice on it. Well, here they go.
What'd you say? Hard. Yeah.
How you feeling, David?
Good.
Feeling good? Keep that ice on there.
Yeah. No sabe qué hacer. Los medios quiero lo que trabajamos, por favor. Lo que prometiste. Este pendejo es muy pinche novato para ti.
He's a
Algún
rookie
día te
for
vas a
you.
retirar, pero con usted hijo de la
You have
chingada.
to wait for it.
Prometiste
Just
ser
keep
campeón
on
mundial
working the left.
nuevamente y vamos a
Keep on
subirlo.
working the left and hit it
Ya
with
la
the right.
tenés enderezando
Okay,
ese
just keep
hombro.
him away.
Ciérrale el ojo ya, pues tuviera más izquierda.
All right, let's take a look at some of the action. I thought this is actually David Diaz's best round of the fight. And here you see where he seems to stun Morales a bit with that right hand.
But you see, he keeps running into Morales with his hand down. So that's why that cheek